What's up, guys? Cody here with another episode of Anima Talks, an Ethereal podcast focused on discussing Ethereal news and information as it pertains to gameplay, as well as discussing various MOBA concepts, systems, and ideas and how they relate to Ethereal. And as always, I'm joined by my good friend ReppedoutTv. Big,
Hello.
big shout out again last week for him taking over while I was sick. Big shout out.
I'm here for you.
Yeah, and I told Rep this, but I got everybody at my work sick during training week. But better then than opening week where everyone like calls in sick and I'm the only one at the front desk and I'm like, oh shit.
And you're just
Uh,
like, I'm here alone.
yeah,
Nice.
I get all the tips. Um, that would be. But yeah, so jungle stats. Jelly went and big brained. Took the time out to figure out jungle stats for a lot of different stuff. So yeah, some of it's placeholder stuff. The mostly wyverns and atropos, at least their health are all
Mm,
placeholders. Um, but yeah, we at least like in addition to that, they Jelly and Mangoose have I don't know who else they gave it to, but they have the special jungle
yeah, this
video footage,
footage.
which is nice because it actually shows it shows Malaya fighting the
hmm
jungle camps, which
Camps.
is
Yep.
something that we really didn't get to see. So yeah, I guess we'll start on just stat talk. I guess.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. So, I mean, for the most part, the buffs are very similar, but yeah, for the most part, the buffs are similar. There's like outliers of like red buff, purple buff are the same stats. Green buff is slightly tankier and
but
does
does
more
less damage.
damage, but is
That
worth the
should
same
do.
amount of gold and XP. And then blue buff has even more armor, which
I mean, I think
is weird.
purple buff's a little weird to me because it's like, so it's expected to be like 20 physical power, but 0 armor. So like
Yeah,
purple buff, you're just going to shred through. Like it seems because like we know purple and green buff are going to be in the void lane, but it seems like those camps are easier to take. Like they will be quicker, right? There's less armor
less armor on the purple buff. The green
and
buff.
15 armor on green.
I
So like,
wonder,
and then
were we able to tell from the video how fast purple and red were attacking at? Because that would make sense then why the green and blue have higher damage and purple and red don't. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I mean, it appears the attack speed is like similar.
Okay, then that's. It's just weird that they're not the
Just same,
same.
same across the board.
Yeah, just
Um,
weird.
yeah, I mean, the only thing I could think of is maybe it's the relation of where the buffs are at.
Okay,
Maybe I don't know. Maybe since there's 2 buffs in that like area, maybe they want to make it, I guess, faster to clear those buffs. Maybe I don't know.
I
I
guess.
don't know if that's really.
I don't. It could. But we kind of have an idea as distance from lane, so I wouldn't.
Mhm.
I was about to say maybe it's like further out, so they want to make you spend less time for your make up for your travel time. But
Yeah, that doesn't seem like it. So I don't know.
I don't know.
I think it's cool though.
Yeah,
I don't know. Be different.
yeah. And then the lizards and the skifters are like the exact same, which is to be expected.
Yeah, they're just the generic small camps, right?
Yeah. And then our chonkers and our trolls. Our trolls giving out 69 XP. That's someone.
Me,
Someone's
I
having
mean,
fun back there.
yeah. Hey, they're trolling around, dude. I mean, that's
Yeah.
funny.
And
I
Chonkers
mean,
giving
I
out.
hope it's intentional.
Yeah, I mean, I.
There's no way it's not. And the
Yeah,
Chonker game's 150 XP.
it's giving like it's giving more than that. How much does a lizard give? 35, and then it's like if you fight, like there could be up to four of them in a
hmm
camp. Four of them would be 140, but I don't.
Yeah,
But like, I think they initially just spawned with two, and then
and then you
I
probably
don't know how
scale up
the.
from there.
I think it. Yeah, it either. I don't know how the spawning that
I feel
works.
like that's actually like pretty crazy, honestly. Like if this is like let's just say the lizards spawn with two, right? And then maybe they cap at four or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, like 150 XP early is pretty crazy.
Hmm.
Like especially if you can take that. It depends on like when they spawn, but like
Yeah.
if you can just take that, that's huge.
I mean, it is tankier than most everything else, though. It's like tankier than your buffs.
I,
So it's. I
I mean,
mean,
yeah,
it's
but
like
you
a.
could dodge. You could literally just
Yeah.
dodge all the auto attacks. So it's like, I mean, it doesn't really matter how like it to me, for example, since it's like a contested camp. If you take a contested camp, it's way better for you, right? Because you're literally just taking that experience from the enemy jungle. Like you can always just fall back to your camps. It doesn't matter. You know what I
True.
mean?
Yeah.
So it's like if even if that takes me 30, 15 seconds, right? Extra or whatever, it's like I'm still going to do that because you're setting the enemy jungler slash junglers behind.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
as well as you have to think there's two junglers, right? So like potential I don't know, like potentially the meta is just like you zerg it and just kill it fast.
Maybe. Or you could call over your if you're like. I mean, imagine that like if you're in that lane and your laner has prio, your laner should, in theory, be
You would
hovering
hope you.
towards you at the very least.
Yeah.
And so if like a problem arises, you're just like, hey, I've got prio on my lane, and that I should just take this by default and potentially just get a kill because he's being stupid and contesting me.
I mean,
So
yeah, but like also imagine this, right? Like imagine like imagine if the level 6 power spike in this game is or like the power spikes are just like League, right? Like imagine just giving obviously this would probably be a more competitive play. Is like imagine just giving this to your mid laner early.
bro, that'd be insane. Uh,
They
Yeah.
like imagine if your mid pushes it out, right? And let's just say that you have your supportive jungler. So like because two junglers, right? Let's just say your more utility based jungler is just like cool. I don't really care if I get behind because I'm utility, so it's like whatever. He goes, starts that up. You have Prio and Void Lane. Your Void Lane just goes over to it, gets 150 XP free, backs, teleports back to lane, and it's like you miss
Yeah.
nothing, and you get like an additional 175 gold. Like I don't know, that'd be kind of nuts. It'd be like a little funnel.
Yeah, I mean,
That-
how much is 175 gold compared to a minion at that point? We don't know, but
well, yeah, but I mean, like if you have Prio and lane and you just crash to the
yeah.
turret, it's like you should realistically you should lose maybe 1 million
Okay. Yeah, I got you. Yeah,
and 150 like 150 XP is pretty crazy early game at least.
yeah. I they are eventually going to run into the issue of needing to make it so that jungle XP is tied to jungle item, but I think that's
Yeah,
something that we're gonna cross into the
I mean, yeah,
um
yeah, they're gonna have to.
yeah, just because like everyone has already talked about, hey, triple funnel, which is not a meta. That's I don't think that's something anybody wants to play through. Which is only going to be a competitive thing, but that's not.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna have like a group of randoms just be like, all right, boys, I'm gonna play mid lane. I get all of the camps. And the jugglers are like, yeah, sure, dude, cool.
That'd be really funny. There's just one person that's just running around grabbing a bunch of camps that everybody's leaving at like 1 HP.
Yeah, oh my,
I just
that
imagine a Leia that's just boom, dive on this camp in mine. Boom, dive on this camp mine, and just is going around. There's a 5 people funneling her.
nah,
That'd be
not a
funny.
chance.
That'd be
I mean,
funny.
I could see it happening in competitive at least until they
Do that change.
make some amendments, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's it for stat stuff. Outside of that, we've kind of already mentioned about the fact that like with us being able to see actual combat, we do see now that like you can dodge attacks in this game. It's not like yeah, the thing autoed you and you're 20 miles away and it still hits you. No, you can dodge it now, which I think I think is really interesting because now every camp is a kite pretty much to a degree. Like the smaller ones, not so much, but the bigger ones, like if you want to, especially like depending on who you're playing, if you want to stay healthy, you're kiting that camp, especially the ones that hit really hard.
Yeah, I mean, like I I don't really know if I want to equate it to like kiting because you're really not you're not having downtime. I feel like right, like sidestepping because you could still just auto attack because like that's all you're doing is just like sidestepping.
Oh yeah,
So I feel like it's actually gonna be easier because like in League right to properly kite a camp you have to wait till like the animation is done and then move like right before the next animation starts. So then the camp drags with you and you take less damage. But here it just seems like I'm literally just gonna hold down my auto attack and I'm just gonna move like left and then
this
just
is
go right immediately and just dodge the auto attack. I think it's gonna be easier and clears are gonna be insanely healthy. Like obviously maybe early on they won't be because people aren't gonna understand like, hey, I can dodge this. But imagine doing your entire clear with like dodging everything. You're just taking
yeah.
no damage. Like it's wild. And then even the little damage you do take, you're just gonna regen, right?
Yeah, you'll like. I think obviously you can't really dodge the lizard stuff. I feel like the lizards and
Oh
the small ones.
yeah, they're just gonna hit you.
Yeah, so I mean, but it's just like any health that you lose during that, you're just gonna regen on the other ones that
Hmm.
you're not taking damage from.
Yep.
Um, so I thought that was like interesting that you could
What
do that.
one thing that I saw that was kind of interesting was like the reset radius of the camps. I don't know if you saw that on Jellies where
I
like he
didn't
would
notice it.
so it seemed like I don't know how kind of like it seemed like the camps auto aggro to you.
Oh yeah, I saw that in the I
So
saw, yeah, in the jungle stream from before. I saw that too, and I
yeah,
forgot to
it's like if
comment.
you but the thing is like the reset radius seems really short. So it's like you walk into their little sphere, their little aggro range, and it's just like immediately they aggro you. And but then if you like barely walk out, they just immediately reset. So the way I saw it was like if you walk out of their aggro range, they'll just like reset, and it's like good luck. I don't know if
You'll just
like
have to memorize where that range is, just like how you memorize
yeah,
turrets.
and that was kind of one thing that I did see was like it's auto aggro, right? Where like the camp will
Yeah,
just walk towards you if you walk in range of them, which is like I mean cool. Like I don't know, it's
it's
just different.
different.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't really know how much it's like bad or good. It's just different. Just something I just wanted to bring up because I saw it.
yeah. I did notice that, and I forgot to mention it last week about that. Which it's like we said, it's different. I think it might be annoying for the smaller camps because those are much more like next to the path. I don't know what
Mhm.
the aggro range of those are. If we could see that.
I mean, they're similar. It's so the way it seems like is it's very close to their little
Okay.
circle that they're standing on. It's probably like 5 feet away from their circle.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I just I think it's gonna be kind of cool. It's gonna be a little bit different. Gonna take some like getting used to that. You can't just walk up to a camp. You have to like because sometimes when you're low, you're just saying walk up to a camp real quick, like regen, maybe hit it once and then reset it.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Um, I mean, I think it's also just gonna speed it up in general. You don't have to
Mhm.
spend that extra, second walking up on every single camp. Which it's a small thing,
Yeah,
but
I mean, I think it will be kind of weird because like once again, the only thing I can equate it to is league. But like so like let's just say Raptors for Kane, right? It's more beneficial for your clear if you walk through the small raptors, hit the big raptor, then Q. Where it's like here, you're not going to have that luxury of like setting up for the perfect ability and making sure that you hit everything with your ability. So it might take like an additional maybe like second to kite it to like
depends on
maximize.
depends on who you're playing.
Yeah, it depends on the ability, but
Yeah, and they don't have camps like that though, where there's one big one and a bunch of
mhm.
small ones. It's all the same.
Yeah, but still, like imagine if you have four things, and then like if you walk into the range, and like let's just say they path weird, so then you can only hit two of them with your ability, right?
Okay.
That,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like obviously, it's not. I don't think in low level play that's going to be a big deal, but once you get into the higher level play where like 1 second on each camp can make the difference between winning or losing, like being there for a counter gank, for example. So that's I think it's interesting. I think it'll be a little
Oh,
different, but it's fun.
yeah. And then I guess the other thing is like the wyverns. We technically already knew that like the wyverns on the Tropos, you could dodge their attacks. Um, but like being able to see it and whatnot, and being able to see like to the degree of how you can dodge it, I think is interesting. I think it's gonna make it where like you have to know how to dodge this shit to one have a nicer time doing it, but two to make it so that like the opponents don't just walk up and just completely obliterate you because you lost half your health to something that should have taken zero from. The learning curve.
The only thing that I'm kind of like I want to say a little like upset about. I'm not like upset, but I'm very hesitant. Is like once you learn the animations,
Yeah,
there's no like I don't want to say there's no risk in taking it, but like soloing it, it has a way less risk than like soloing a dragon at level 6, depending on your champion, could be difficult. Where it's like here, if you just know the animations, soloing a dragon's not hard, or a wyvern in this case, right? It's like you just dodge the auto attacks. It doesn't matter how long it takes. You could just kill it.
yeah,
But I guess like the relation to the where the camp is in the lane, we'll go through that in a second, might alleviate that. But that's kind of like my only hesitation. It's like cool. I know the animation. I can dodge it. Nice. So
yeah. I think there's a shit ton of stuff going on for Tropos though, and that's gonna take a long time to figure
yeah.
out. Like, there's beams and circles popping up everywhere. I'm looking at that. I'm like, I'll just stand next to him maybe and pray I
It's
can
just
dodge the fist.
it's a little mini boss. No, I'm just gonna tank everything. I'll just tank it. Whatever.
I mean, I'll be playing a tank probably.
I better get healed. I'm just sitting there. I'm eating everything. I ain't got time to dodge this. I'm trying to damage it.
Yeah. The other thing from Jelly's video is like I don't think any of us knew the armor calculation for anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I don't know if that's the exact same thing that like League uses. I don't know what the calc is for League. But it looks similar enough where I'm like, oh, that's like League. Um, so 100 divided by 100 plus the armor will give you your multiplier. So it looks like League, maybe, yeah. Because if
Wait,
like 100 armor in League is about 50% resist, right? That's what this equation really equates to.
yeah. So what I'm looking at for League is it says damage multiplier equals 100 over 100 plus armor.
Okay, so it is
So
the same.
yeah, yeah. And
Okay,
then there's more to it, but it's like they're kind of similar.
and
So
I think at the end of the day, it's just like different. But the thing is with like League, you can very easily cap out on inefficiency for your like armor or magic resist. I feel like at least when you're playing a tank. So in a lot of the items in Ethereal, a lot of the tank items are more resistance orientated instead of health orientated.
yep,
So it's I mean maybe that just means that you just focus on buying the like the 1000 health item because there's no point in getting
yeah.
more armor unless you want the active or whatever.
Yeah. No, I can see that. Just getting health, like whatever.
Like that's the only other I don't know. It'll just be different. And
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is
The,
just to play the game.
yeah, the meta will shift too. Like, right, people will figure out what is more mathematically correct, and then they'll
Yeah,
just build that because it's mathematically correct. It's like whatever.
that might be me figuring that. That's a technical. We'll see. We'll see if I want to go through that.
Pro builds, baby.
Yeah, no, this Mobifier builds first.
Yeah, Mobify. There you go. Holy moly! Don't do it, boys. Don't do it. Not worth. It's by the
Um,
recommended.
are we just lumping these next two together? Object relation and roles?
Yeah,
Or
I think so. I think they both go hand in hand.
yeah.
Um,
So yeah, with
how do you see
the
it?
so I don't see us having our obviously UG has said like they expect the void lane, the mid lane to be the dual lane. And everybody is disagreeing with them and saying, "Nah, we don't see that, fam." And with how strong the wyverns are, in particular Ice Wyvern, you're definitely throwing your dual lane in the side lane. And I think it might end up being Ice Wyvern if it's not changed at all.
Mhm. Okay. I mean, yeah, so that was kind of what I was gonna say, right? Is like the duo lane will go in whatever lane the strongest wyvern is. And like over patch reworks and whatever wyvern is better will be the duo lane. Because it as of right now, it's not like any other game where the like in League, the bot lane, the resistances differ between bot and top and mid, like right? Um, where it's like here, the only thing that you really will put your bot lane in relation will just be for objective control. So I think at the beginning it'll be the Ice Wyvern and Frost Wyvern. Like I don't see why you would prioritize fire, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But we could be completely wrong. Like maybe we're just underestimating the like fire. I don't know.
I've
I
done the
don't think
quick
we are.
maths on it, and I
Yeah,
think we're not. So
but like so that's like it makes unless if rotations are extremely hard, I can never justify why you would have your duo lane in mid. I just can't.
yeah, and it's not even like the buffs in mid are any good either. It's a
Yeah,
shield or just a flat 8%, and
no,
it's like at that point it doesn't even matter like who the and you're not even picking up the buffs anyways early game, so
yeah.
at the end of the day it doesn't even matter because
I mean, so
that yeah.
my big question is how is mid going to get the blue buff?
Well, how I see it is we're gonna play like League does, and we're gonna throw our mid off into the side lane and move our duo into the mid lane come mid game.
Yeah, but but usually your mid will get like second blue.
Mm.
This is in comp. Like in solo queue, you're
Yeah,
not going to get blue. Like whatever sucks to suck. You don't get blue until late game. But it's like usually to have priority in lane, you give your mid laner blue buff, right? Because it opens up the entire map.
how
So how
one
would that
way
happen?
you could do it is your mid laner picks it up after recalling, and instead of just immediately TPing back to lane, they run over to the ice lane and grab the buff because it should be on the ground. Your jungler doesn't even have to wait for the mid lane to be there.
How how long will the buff? How is there like a timer
There
for how
should be
long
a
the buffs?
timer, but I don't think they
Yeah,
said what the timer was.
I mean like I feel like they're just going to push lane, walk to it, pick it up, and back, and then teleport. Like
Right, but I don't know. But we don't know how to get from.
yeah, well
That's the one
they're going
thing.
to
That's
cannon
why.
up. They're going to cannon
Yeah,
up.
we
All
don't
right.
know. We don't know how the transportation works between lanes, which is why I said that you could just pick it up on your way over and then
Yeah.
fall back down or
Yeah,
teleport back.
I'm looking at the map. I mean, yeah, because like that's the only thing that's kind of hesitating me is like it kind of sucks for comp, but maybe that'll just like develop a new meta. Just get a shield, bro.
Tank
Just get
meta.
a shield.
Tank
Yeah.
mids.
Oh my gosh.
Here we
I
go.
mean, hey, maybe like maybe they have tank mid, AP carry bot, and then solo AD top and fire.
I mean, hell, Noxus can be put pretty much anywhere at this point. So
So
with
yeah.
with more people, I could definitely see that being a thing.
Or maybe you just have two duo lanes, duo top,
Yeah,
duo bot,
yeah, one jungle. Yeah,
and then one jungle. Maybe
yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
I think that would be a fine meta to have, just because then it's just like your dual lanes just every now and then. Push wave, go take a few camps, and come back.
Yeah, I mean, like you would have your AD presence top. The way I see it, right? You'd have your AD presence in a fire lane, and then you'd have your AP presence in bot lane, and then you would just have your tank in mid. The only poopy thing about that would be your AP carry would be under leveled.
True.
That's the only like thing that I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
And there's no feasible way for a jungler to clear all of these camps as well before respawn. There's no way.
that's why I was saying that your duos go and take them. But I
Yeah,
don't
maybe
I don't think do we know if camp XP is shared among people,
amongst people. Don't know.
right? Because if it's not, then you just give it all to your carry, and then that kind of solves the XP issue, kind of.
I mean, yeah, I could see that, right? So like there are certain camps that you clear. You probably play in relation, and then you just leave certain camps. Like Krugs, for example, are like a beautiful example where like you oftentimes will give your Krugs to your top laner because it's out of the way for your pathing. Like a lot of times, it does not make sense to clear Krugs when you could just gift that over. It's like I a lot
Yeah.
of what ifs, but who knows? Maybe we'll just have one jungle, baby.
Yeah, and if that brings up a separate issue, if XP is shared, then you know in League that's been an issue in the past where
Yep.
they end up
It
having
used
to
to
be
be.
like, yeah, where they ended up just being like, yeah, no, it's just one person getting the XP.
Because they would literally just have a support, like, yeah,
They would have Scion go
yeah.
and run around with a jungler, and then they would take the dragon level 3, Scion would die and TP back top. All to lose like he'd lose like 10% of his turret health and lose minions. But they got a dragon and lost nothing outside of that, nothing else really. So
I
it was,
remember that. I remember that meta. That's silly. I don't think. I don't. I hope that experience is not shared between camps. I really hope that. I hope it's not. That's gonna be weird. Where do you think that people are gonna start? I know we're kind of going tangent wise, but where do you think people are gonna start in the jungle? Let's just say all camps spawn at the same time except for the contested camps.
right. I don't know. Cause I don't know if we're going to have like a sky jungler that goes in between like the two side lanes and then the one guy on the ground, or if you're just gonna have your two guys just like start on the sides and then like work down and then do a gank
I
there.
think one jungler will start purple.
Oh, starting the buffs, yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to be a buff. There, people clear lizard camps. People can do.
Uh,
I think one will for sure start purple.
it's only an 8% increase. 8% at the beginning of the game. Yes, it's a lot.
I
I
mean,
mean, if someone's starting purple, then someone should be starting red as well because red is the other damage camp.
I I think that damage early to increase your clear would be beneficial. That's why a lot of people start red. Is like because red gives you sustainability, which I don't think will be as much of an issue here because the auto attacks are not like you're going to get hit, but the damage is good and yeah, it's like sustainability and damage, which purple gives damage, and then red gives damage and sustainability. So it's like
Yeah.
that
No, I
that would be
definitely
my
see
bet.
that. Yeah, yeah. And that, I mean, at that point, then if it is like Sky Jungle and mid lane jungle, then that would make sense.
Or that, I hope that that's not the meta. Like that is
It
so.
just depend. It all depends on how you
Yeah,
go
how you
from lane to
traverse.
lane.
Yeah,
Which
I'm I'm just saying,
honestly,
dude. Like
UG next update. Next update.
I'm telling you right now, I'm probably going to be. I'm going to be severely upset if it's like you have one jungle in mid because there's going to be so much downtime for
Yeah.
the mid jungler. Like the mid jungle is going to have so much downtime.
Well, I mean, it's not as much, I don't think, as the two sides, but it is more overall
I
than
mean, yeah,
just
but
like
it's all in
one.
relation.
Yeah,
It's
I
all in
know.
relation. Like
But I mean, yeah, it's all just how do you get from lane to lane. That's all it is. So
I just wish they would just send their intent. Like you don't even have to give us like a concrete thing. Like just like they get actual from word of mouth intent rather than this like arbitrary 2 year old. Not obviously that's a little exaggeration. They're a tower. They're going to be cannons. It's like I just
but I mean but that's like outdated at this point.
no, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's not just some arbitrary outdated information. It's like no, this is what we are trying to do. Like this is what the intent is. And maybe not even like the mechanism of it. Just be like, hey, we're intending you to do this. Like, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be nice. There's a lot of things I need to go back through and just be like, hey, here's like an update on this thing. We've changed this to this. Like I don't even know if they're still doing the whole minion thing anymore. Of how like they want to have like each minion to have a special class and whatnot. Because I looked at that stream, and it looked like all the minions were about the same to me. So there's like one was red and one was blue. Yep. Okay.
And
So there's things that like I wish they would go back through and just give us updates on, and there's things that I also want them to like go back through and give like a
mhm.
better explanation on, because there's some things like this is the one reason I talked about maybe doing familiars this week was because of like one little line in there that talks about switching out your familiar ability to be able to use a mark or mask item.
Yep,
And
that's
that makes no sense, because then they go refer to our item post, which doesn't talk about that. It just talks about and that's a whole separate thing. But they do
we
need
can talk
to,
about that later. Yeah.
yeah, they did, just in general they need to go back through, do updates on everything. Yeah, give some
I mean,
clarification.
it just sucks because it's like I understand why they do a lot of things they do, like giving privy information to like their top end content creators because it makes sense, right? But what does not make sense is why are you giving them information so they can make a video on it when you could just come right out and say, hey, this is what it is,
Yeah,
subject to change.
or like at the very least, it should be released at the same time.
Yeah, like coordinate it, right? Like I don't care. I don't care if content creators get content to make content, but it does not make sense that content creators make content and then it doesn't sync and there's like, oh yeah, we got this awesome footage that nobody else got. Sucks to suck, dude. And it's like, well, why don't you just put it out? Like
Yeah,
why are you hiding it? What are we doing? Like just because like like that was awesome footage that
yeah.
Jelly got.
I'm
Like I wish they would have just showed that when they did the jungle reveal.
yeah.
Like just give us the stats and give us all of that information on the jungle reveal, and then just pull up a map, pull up an updated map, and just show, oh, blue buff is here, purple
They
buff is here. Like I don't know.
they do need to
I don't
jelly,
know, Tim.
jelly. We need you, because I don't have the time for this, and you would do this way faster, Jelly. Make a map that shows where all the camps are. Okay, do
Please, Jelly.
please,
Please.
please, because UG won't. It's their own
We'll see.
game. Yeah. So, um, yeah. I mean, it wouldn't like. Yeah, I don't know why they haven't put out a video for the jungle like they said they were going to. Well, originally, how I guess this was originally going to go was, hey, we have the stream. Stream goes perfectly. No crashes, no interruptions. Bam, VOD straight to YouTube. That's not what happened. So,
I mean, I don't think that's ever a good plan anyway. Like just a VOD straight to YouTube because it's like
yeah.
you should just I don't know. A YouTube video is to be perfect, like it's to be as crisp and clean. And then we've
Well,
already
I
went over
mean,
that. So extremists have
it's
fun. Like
like it's kind of like, to me, if I see like if it says something like, if it has the word stream or something like that in there, or if it's like highlight where it's just like chopped up,
mhm.
I'm like cool with that. And
Yeah,
if you have like a link to the Twitch where I can go and watch the full thing or whatever, I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Like I understand that like you literally just cut it or just literally imported it straight from there. I get that. But we have nothing.
yeah,
And not everybody watches their Twitch. Not everybody knows how to even use Twitch. Like, and this is I'm like it's just weird because I think most people understand YouTube. It's literally like I click this, video starts playing. To like go onto Twitch, find somebody that isn't streaming, which is annoying. I don't like how they do that. You have to like search them up because it's impossible to even like find it on your own follow list.
yeah.
And then go on to their VOD page, which at least at the very least, if it's their last VOD, then it's on the front page there. But it is not straightforward. Where YouTube is literally just like I click, I want Ethereal YouTube channel, this video, bam, I'm in. They do need to get on that.
I believe. I believe.
Um,
Hope.
yeah, I think that's it. So, uh, well, I'm tired as hell. So
Yeah, no, I feel ya.
I know you got kids going on and stuff.
I feel like
Um,
that.
yeah. So that's gonna be it, guys. You can find both me and Rect on YouTube and Twitch. Links for everything in the description below. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more ethereal content. A new episode of Anima Talks comes out every Thursday, and we don't want you to miss it. So thanks, guys, and see you in the next one.
Peace.